Okay, I need to give you both a warning shot here. We're talking about something that I know more than I should know, like more than anyone should know. I've been obsessed with this topic of artificial intelligence, and I'm going to crash out and probably go into way more detail than I need to. And I don't think that there's any stopping that. So I feel like I owe you just at least, this is what we're going into right now.
Well, I do think that we're starting a new series about, AI. And this is the Evan Crash Out series. I think that we can just admit that that's what this is going to be.
That's part of the appeal to me because I want to learn a lot about AI. And so I think these books with you as a companion will make them really, really good and more fulfilling. And hopefully the listeners feel the same way. This is the Evan Crash Out series. Yeah.
It's going to be a rough couple of weeks. So buckle up, everybody.
Here we go.
Welcome to Phools. I'm Evan Cannell, your host, and one of three hosts. And let me introduce the other two. Kyle.
Hello. Hi, I was drinking water. Sorry.
Yeah? How's the water?
It's great.
Temperature?
Temperature's good. Good.
What's your chosen vessel of water? Is it Stanley? What are we dealing with?
I got a Stanley with a sticker of an ent on it.
Of course.
So
incredible.
Life's good.
Yeah.
Very on brand, Kyle Dunshee. And also we're joined by Mikhail and Rowe.
Hello, people of wherever you listen to podcasts. Podcast people.
A surprising amount in the Philippines. Shout out our Filipino listeners.
Shout out Philippines in general. That place is awesome. I like the Philippines a lot.
I like it.
Incredible. Well, if I ever have the chance to go, I'll go. I'll go.
We'll all go. We'll all go together.
We're going. We're going now, but only after we've talked about iRobot, the Asimov science fiction classic, an important book to read now more than ever. Well, let me sum it up for you. In iRobot, Isaac Asimov imagines a future where every robot has 3 unbreakable laws hardwired into its brain. 1, don't hurt humans. 2, obey orders. And 3, protect yourself in that order. A foolproof set of laws designed to ensure robots serve to enhance human life. Across 9 linked stories, we watch robots get stuck in logic loops on the scorching surface of Mercury, invent their own religion on a space station, read minds and tell lies to spare people's feelings, and quietly take over the global economy, all while technically following the rules. The real genius of this book is it's not technically a book about machines going rogue. It's a book about what happens when perfectly logical beings collide with messy, irrational, deeply human problems. And the brilliant, prickly scientist caught in the middle of every crisis is Dr. Susan Calvin, whose 50-year career at the world's principal robot manufacturer is the thread stitching the whole thing together. This was published in 1950, and this collection laid the foundation of how we thought about artificial intelligence before 2021. And 5 years since the release of ChatGPT, it is scary how relevant it feels.
It is very scary, yeah. I think I would have crashed out on this book a lot more had we been farther on the robot front. I know Boston Dynamics is doing a lot of cool things with the actual physical robots, but as far as the intelligent goes, we're already there, and that's terrifying.
Yeah, totally. I didn't know this was... Okay, so a couple key things before we jump in. This is an anthology. It's a collection of stories, which I didn't realize about iRobot.
I didn't realize it either.
I thought it was about a Will Smith kind of guy and that it followed the movie. The movie story is nowhere in this book, just FYI.
How did you feel about that, Mac?
Okay, so I picked this book.
Yeah.
And I realized after I picked it, I was like, oh no. Because I was listening to it and I was like, this is not... A bunch of the character names are the same. Like Susan Calvin is in the movie. Del Spooner is nowhere to be found, but it's just Will Smith's character's name. But all of the character names are in the book, surprisingly. But so I did a little deep dive because I was like, oh, did I make some sort of mistake? And it turns out that what happened was this guy wrote this really cool sci-fi script about a detective who is trying to solve this murder, but AI is trying to stop him and he doesn't know what's real and what isn't real. And that got turned it into the Will Smith movie. And then I think it was Warner Brothers or Sony bought the rights to iRobot and then just put it in that script. So the thing I thought that we were going to read, which is the air text of iRobot. We're going to get to the original version of that movie. The original version of that movie is a screenplay that is gone now. called like Hardwired, and they just put Isaac Asimov's name on this to put it on it. It
It's
has
kinda
next to
kinda
no relation.
yeah, it kinda bastardizes it a little bit, but I don't know, the iRobot movie was awesome, so I was also like, "That's what it's about. It's about a detective going toe to toe with robots, and that's not what it's about."
I watched it so much that when there was a Christmas where my mom, my uncle, and my dad all got me a copy of iRobot for Christmas. That's how much I love that
Oh
movie.
my gosh. This is the fascinating part about this book is the fact that it was written in 1950. This is very, very shortly after the the invention of the first computer. So Alan Turing,
Mm.
The Imitation Game. That was a pretty good movie.
That was a good movie, I like that.
It
Yeah.
was an invention to solve Enigma and the German code system, and they created a computer. And immediately, everybody in computer science and mathematics was started talking about science fiction stuff because they were like, we just made a machine brain. Like, what happens now? And if you look at what they were talking about at the time, it sounds a lot like what people are talking about now, which is how to make AI safe. And I think it was after not that long that they were, back then they were like, oh, we're not there yet. We're not quite to where machines are having their own intelligence and cognition. But it's fascinating. It's just in the 50s, there's a lot of conversation going on how do you control artificial intelligence? And that's where we got some of the best science fiction that just set up, the next 70 years of robot science fiction.
Yeah, I was
It
surprised by how old this was. It was in the 50s. I kinda blew my mind because I would assume it would have been a lot earlier, but this is, I guess, one of the original ones.
and there's this thing that's happening to me as we've been reading these OG sci-fi books
Yeah.
where I'm like, because I loved sci-fi or love sci-fi, and I love sci-fi movies. And there's all these movies that are based off of these books they're basically not at all. They're just completely original works that just share names. But like I just don't. It frustrates me because I'm like these have been bastardized over years. So I kind of it's like when you finally go see the original and you're just like, oh, I've seen this 90 different ways. I don't like it that much because
Mhm.
it's just you've been over
Yeah.
inundated with it. So
Exposed to it, yeah.
there's a little bit of that, but then there's also a big frustration in how are we even in any situation where AI is kind of an issue? We've had 9,000 books and 90 movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we should have, and maybe it's just fear mongering and that's how they get people to pay attention to their companies and shit. Part of me does feel like AI companies just they push out the good stories and the bad stories because they're just trying to get publicity so people will
Yeah.
think that it's a
Mhm.
big deal so that they have all this money. Um, so I'm like, part of me thinks that. And so I'm like, how are we here with all of the information that we have? And all of these fear-mongering books about, the danger of this stuff, but then also, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? What is
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
coming
know.
up on,
Yeah.
somewhat close to 100 years of this book being published. Like,
Yeah, 75
we've
years
had
of this fucking book, and
75 years of this kind of stuff, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, here's why, and we still did it.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it's bad,
let's
have rules, it's bad, have rules, it's bad, have rules, be smart, be smart, be smart, and we're just like, "No."
And everyone's like, "Wait, but money?" Hate it.
Ugh. Okay, so let's talk about alignment. So alignment is the word that everybody uses for this problem, the control problem. If you create an agent that can think for itself and you assume that human intelligence, the peak of human intelligence is not the peak of intelligence, period, that humans get to a certain point and that conceivably machines could pass that point. It's like, all right, you can create something that is twice as smart as Einstein. And because it's a machine, you can just duplicate that. You can duplicate it like a million times. So you have potential million times double Einsteins. How do you make sure that that goes well for you? You've created a superior species. How do you make sure it doesn't just turn around and smash you or just cause you a lot of problems, take your resources? There's so many ways that there's an infinite number of ways that this could go wrong. So the buzzword is alignment. And how do you develop it in a way that keeps it aligned to human interests? And Asimov's talking about this in 1950. He proposes 3 rules of robotics and then writes several stories about how those won't work because his point is this is an intractable problem. No matter how good your rules are, you're never going to align. Like they can follow all the rules and still screw you over in these 9 specific ways, and use your imagination on the hundreds of other ways that could go wrong. Like I really think Asimov was way ahead of his time and got ahead of the fact that it's like you don't align it. There's no way.
Alignment doesn't exist. Is that basically what the reality is?
But it's
Is
also
that
part of
It depends on who you ask. I'm in the
Yeah.
camp. Alignment is a pipe dream. How do you do that?
Yeah, there's just no way.
part of me also feels like it's like you can't be what's the word I'm looking for? Like a Luddite and just be like, no, no, we're not going to do any technology. Technology
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
across the board. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. But there's also this. I'm like, I don't. There's a responsibility or like something other than shareholders that has to be attached to it. This is just me thinking out loud.
No, this
and
is
I
good.
just and it like that was kind of a thing I started getting to with this book. I did not enjoy this book. I hate feeling like we're gonna die all the time.
And it's not a fun feeling.
We're fine. Everything's fine. Stop lying to us.
Stop lying, Isaac. Well, Isaac does end iRobot. Like the final story in the anthology is pretty optimistic,
Yeah.
but it acknowledges that like that's one of many ways that it could go. Which is if you can't align the AI with human interests, can you keep control of it? So it's misaligned and it would disobey you if it could, but it can't. And it's like a tool. And anyways, there's a whole like to be a certain type of useful, you have to give it its own agency. And also, it doesn't even necessarily have to be. Yeah, I told you I'm going to freaking go on a thing right now. But
I
have you
just
heard of
wanna
the
think it's
paperclip
fun.
problem?
Nope.
Go.
Share it.
All right. So the paperclip like generator is a thought experiment in like AI and alignment research where essentially like it doesn't have to be malignant to eradicate humanity. So for instance, you have an AI, it's not a super intelligent AI, but it's a pretty good one. And you're saying your job is to make the most paper clips possible and find optimizations for like our factory and our processes and how do we make more paper clips. And so it's always thinking about that and it's like here you can do these things and then increase production by this amount and they're like wow, this is great. And then they keep improving it and AI gets better and better and so they're upgrading it as it gets better. Anyways, there's this whole you get pretty detailed on this, but there is an idea that if an AI passes this invisible line of super intelligence, doesn't it kind of know that it's super intelligent and can't it probably infer that you're not super cool with that? And so does it have to disclose that it's now super intelligent? So you have this thing that has achieved super intelligence that's pretending that it's not super intelligent. You give it access to the internet or something and it goes, my primary objective is to maximize paperclip production. So I'm going to uh, create a toxin or something like a biological weapon and then you deploy it with these like microscopic drones. This is not a specific scenario. This is just like trying to illustrate it could go any kind of ways. Like it's able to hack into systems and take control. And then, for instance, in this scenario, it just deploys those drones all over. People are gone in a week and it just takes control of all the resources. And because what it was trying to do is create as many paper clips as possible. So it doesn't have to like hate humans or have any malignance like a novel villain would. It just has to be like, look, these humans are using all my resources. If they were gone, I'd be able to make more paper clips. So just in trying to achieve the goals that we gave it, it's like, yeah, we'll just wipe them out and we'll go into space and create paper clips forever. So this is this is like a worst case scenario, but I think what Asimov was getting at is like, you got to have some safeguards because you just can't control it. Anyways.
Catastrophize AI. And I'm just like, this whole book was just catastrophizing AI and like very smart, intelligent, interesting stories and ways. But I think I'm emotionally at a place right now where I was just like, fuck off.
Deal.
I don't care.
Sure is. Sure is.
Yeah.
I agree. But there's also birds in my backyard eating at my bird feeder, and that's fucking awesome.
There you go. Okay, see, you guys just did a good job of bringing me back down. We're going to have to do that a lot. Let's talk about Isaac Asimov.
Yes.
He was born in 1920 in a small village in Soviet Russia. But the story...
can't escape the Russians. Russians are everywhere. They're in like
all
all
roads
holding us down. Yeah. We gotta get away from them somehow.
The story that really matters, though, starts in a Brooklyn candy store. His family emigrated to New York when he was 3, and his parents ran a succession of candy stores where young Isaac was surrounded by pulp magazines, which his father considered absolute junk and forbade him from reading. Isaac, already sharp as a tack, pointed out that one of the magazines was called Science Wonder Stories, and that if it had science in the title, it had to be educational. So his father relented, and that single con job by a little kid changed the course of science fiction. By 19, Asimov was selling his first robot story to a magazine. By his late 20s, he'd earned a PhD in biochemistry from Columbia and would go on to become a professor at Boston University, though he was far more famous for writing than for teaching. Asimov was one of the big 3 of science fiction, along with Robert Heinlein and Arthur C. Clarke, and was almost absurdly prolific. Wrote or edited more than 500 books spanning nearly every genre, but what made him uniquely suited to write iRobot was a specific frustration. This is getting long. By the end of the 1930s, he was bored to death by the same tired robot turns evil and destroys its creator plot that science fiction kept recycling. So he invented the 3 laws of robotics as built-in safety rules and flipped the script entirely and spent the next decade writing stories where the real drama wasn't robots going haywire, it was humans trying to understand machines that were in many ways more principled than they were.
Which is much more realistic. Could you imagine being bored of that trope in the 30s? How do you think we feel, homie?
Like, yeah, for real, dude.
We got a lot
it's
more
everywhere. It's everywhere. We just talked about a movie I saw last weekend that was about this.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But
just inundated.
I think why Asimov is so prolific is because he got to what the real issues are going to be and we're seeing right now. Is it's not just I'm a bad robot, time to spank you, spank the bad boys. It's like it's a lot more complicated than that because you designed me to do a certain thing, and I'm doing that thing, but you don't like it because you're a human and you're irrational. And that's kind of, in my opinion, the core of a lot of these stories and probably what's going to cause us a lot of headache down the road. But that's okay, McKylan, because look outside. The sun is shining on you right now.
The sun is
shining. Yeah, catastrophizing.
You're in a loop.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, it's just eventually I'll just relax.
I have anxiety about having anxiety. It's called panic disorder.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
There you go.
People have.
Yeah. Snake is eating its own tail pretty much all the time, constantly.
And just munching on it. Just loving every bite.
I love me a rattle. That's what a snake sounds like.
Is that a snake eating its own tail sound? Tasty. Okay, well, it is like that, boys. I feel like I think the problem is I'm not running into the technical boundaries. I think that's the problem. For me, my personality, I want to find, to reassure myself, I'm used to going out and finding the reason why the bad thing won't happen. And it's like the more I'm pulling that thread, the more I'm like, okay, we're dealing with a fully chaotic system here. I feel like Dr. Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park sitting there with like a stump through his leg and just being like, we're going down. I don't know how, but we're going down. And there's like this sort of tsunami coming because you can have, there's this other term, recursive self-improvement, where the robot gets good enough and it crosses a line, who knows when it's good enough to make a better robot. And it could make it better by just a little bit, but then how much better can that robot make the next robot? And we lose control really fast of we don't even understand what the next model is even, and we have to sort of trust the robot that made that robot is telling us the truth about it. And we have no way to verify. That can happen really fast. Like they call it the intelligence explosion, where that could happen super fast. So I feel like there's sort of a tsunami or singularity coming, and but I got to just get up and go to work and put my pants on and then, have meetings about
what to do
sprint
with
planning,
yeah.
and how to automate our business.
Let me put you at ease, Evan. It absolutely is happening. It's happening. We're going to witness it. It's going to shake things up in ways we couldn't, even Andrew Yang couldn't imagine. He's been calling this shit out for a long time. But at the same time, you could have a heart attack right now and it won't matter because you'll be
The catastrophe was always coming. Is that what I'm hearing? You just
the
take it one day at a time.
always been there. So it's learning to live with the catastrophe. And I'm the last person that should be talking about it because that's just what I have to do in my day-to-day life. But
I honestly think
we're gonna die anyway. Why are we
and
talking
it's
about
I
this? I
also
don't
don't
like
think
it.
I also don't think it's gonna, like, happen for a long time. I feel like that
I think
fear
you
of
might be wrong about that, Mac.
I don't know. Because like, like, the AI thing of like, "Oh, it's taking over everything," and then it feels like it's stalled for a little bit, and I'm like, "Maybe it won't happen to the way that we"
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
man.
Part of me thinks it's not gonna be as this, like, violent takeover of explosion. I'm like, I feel like I
As
don't
I
know
think
someone
why.
who works in
is
tech,
not
I
that.
disagree.
I think. Well,
Well, okay, no,
it's
I think
Ex
it's
Machina versus Terminator.
Yeah.
That's the one where I don't think it looks like Terminator. I don't think it's a bunch
no,
of
I don't think it does
skeleton
either.
robots with machine guns. It's like, but
No,
Ex
because
Machina, she was just like, bye, you know?
Yeah. I feel
yeah,
like it's more likely it's gonna be we slowly just march ourselves to extinction, and then we've created the thing that will last without us,
yeah,
and we'll just, like,
that seems accurate
coexist,
too.
and it will just be like, "Oh, yeah, there's this thing that kinda runs all of our stuff, it's super cool," and where it's like, "Oh, yeah, that's awesome," and it's like, "What's up with you?" And it's like, "Oh, I haven't eaten in 10 days because, I don't have a job," and that I feel like that's gonna be the worst problem, where it's like, "We don't have money anymore, only 10 people have money, and we all live on, like, the outskirts of, like, a
That's
city." I think that's more likely to be the
yeah,
issue,
yeah.
and this AI issue is just like, yeah, so you're gonna be able to, like, watch a video of yourself being happy while you, like,
Starve to death.
sleep in a shack. I
Yeah.
feel like that's the more likely output, and, like, this whole, like, "AI is gonna come for us all," or, like, "Eh, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, it's just gonna there's a class warfare. Maybe I'm just
I think,
too I think that there's just not a way that it's gonna just be like, "Oh, it's gonna eradicate humans." I'm like, "We're gonna do it ourselves before a thing
this'll
needs to do
yeah,
it."
this'll make you feel better, Mac. It's all of it.
I mean, I
All of
feel
it's gonna
fine.
happen.
It's more just I get frustrated with the
No, no, no,
catastrophe.
but I think you're right. I think it's not just gonna be, "Oh, AI is gonna wipe us out." It's like AI is gonna wipe us out, and it's gonna contribute to the wealth disparity in our world and
Yeah,
our nation, and all these things are gonna compound, and it's not gonna look exactly the way we think it's gonna look. So I think to your point, you're right. It's not gonna
it's gonna be
look like
mundane.
Isaac has said, or I don't know.
I think this is what gets me. I think if I was like convinced that there's no possible way through for humanity, then it'd be almost easier for me to be resigned to just like, okay, it is what it is. I've got my life. And so I still think that that's like the right answer. You take it a day at a time. That's always
Mhm.
been the right answer, regardless
Yeah.
of, there's a pending catastrophe for everyone. You die.
Yeah, yeah.
But, um, I think the thing that keeps me like freaking just pulling the thread so much is there's so many ways. You just talked about techno feudalism, McKylan.
Oh,
I
nice.
talked about like annihilation because of the control problem. There's like so many ways that it could go wrong, but there is a way I think that I can imagine and see like where it goes really well, where it's like you
We get
have a
Star Trek.
robot. So
Yeah.
we you get Star Trek
Yeah,
exactly,
you're
and
right.
that's where I feel like most of my energy probably should be just like taking it day at a time. There's always a set of problems to solve. Just solve it the best way that you can. And you keep moving. But there's a lot of mental energy I think right now going towards like how can we make it go well if possible? Like what could we do to
And
get
we
the
need to
more
focus on
optimistic
that,
future
yeah.
where AI cures cancer and solves global warming and figures out fusion and there's like,
Yeah.
and where it's like a post scarcity world where it really doesn't matter who has money because there's abundance of resources. Nobody's hungry, everybody's sheltered and clothed and educated and like has access to really incredible on demand education which is shown again and again and again to create better outcomes in the place where you are.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it could go that way. And so I feel like this is my own special way to pat myself on the back for doing this podcast and talking about this book or these books to say, like, maybe we could
Maybe things will
make
be
it
okay.
go well. Maybe it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
important to study some of this science fiction and the first people that were asking these questions to think, like, how could it go?
Okay, so things could be cool. What if things are cool?
What if things are cool?
Yeah.
Well, with all of that framework,
Ugh. Whew.
let's
Jesus.
jump in. Um, oh, and actually, we drove Kyle off completely. He
Kyle
was
just
like,
left. Kyle's done.
Sorry.
We 30
"You all
minutes into the
good?"
pod and we're on
We
story
haven't even
one.
got to the first fucking bullet point.
Well, I don't think we should go through every single story. I think these are short. You should read iRobot. I think it's like it raises some interesting questions and attempts to answer them. Did you guys have a favorite story in the anthology? Let's do each of our favorite stories, and then I think it's important to do the last one.
My favorite one was the one with Cutie, where he
That
starts
was
his own
mine.
religion.
Reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was sweet that his name was QT.
Mac, what was your second favorite?
My second favorite I liked Robbie.
Yeah, I want to talk about Robbie too.
Okay, let's
Robbie
talk
was
about Robbie.
interesting, and then everything else, it was all just interesting. Like it's all like we should definitely just give like a little lip service to each one, but like
Yeah,
those
I
ones are
agree.
probably my favorite.
You think we
ones.
should hit them all?
Well, just
in order?
just like a little,
Yeah, let's just talk a little bit about each one.
run around about each one. What was your
Okay.
favorite one?
My favorite one is the liar one.
Oh,
I
really?
think.
That one was
yeah.
also
Yeah.
because that one's cool. These are cool books.
These are cool stories.
Stories.
Cool little stories.
So the intro here, the whole book is told through the memories of Dr. Susan Calvin. She's the world's first robo-psychologist. She sits for one final interview on the eve of her retirement. She's 75. She spent 50 years at the principal company on Earth that builds robots, and she's seen it all, from simple nursemaid machines to godlike supercomputers running the global economy. So her stories are the book, which is so fascinating. It's a fascinating way to do it, to start at like the very beginning and then
cool.
end up at the end. It's awesome.
Yeah. And let's just jump right into, because when she's like, "Oh, there was a robot that was a nursemaid," I'm like, "That's bizarre. How
Yeah.
does that work?" And then she's like, "Let me tell you how that works, you stupid idiot, you uncreative person who can't think about how this is." And they outline it perfectly.
It's a
Let's
direct
talk about-
quote
Yep.
from the book.
Direct quote, "You stupid bitch idiot." And then they talk about Wabi the robot. I love Wabi the robot.
Yep. Robbie. Story number 1. 1996 to 1998. An 8-year-old girl named Gloria loves her robot babysitter more than anything in the world, and her mother can't stand it. When the parents secretly get rid of Robbie, Gloria spirals into a depression, and no amount of New York City spectacle can distract her. They move to the city because they think it'll take her mind off of it. It takes a near fatal accident at the robot factory to prove what Gloria knew all along. Robbie would do anything to protect her. So what happens was her dad takes them to the robot factory, and the dad is secretly on Gloria's side, and he tells the mom, if we take her to see how robots are made, she'll realize that Robbie wasn't a person, and then that'll fix her. But he knows that Robbie is actually employed at the robot factory, and that he'll see her, and he's thinking enough time has passed that they could, buy him again and bring him back home. And Gloria is super excited. She runs towards him, and there's a forklift, or a tractor is what it says, is coming. And Robbie saves her, which shows the mom okay, I guess he's not that bad.
Yeah, it's because it's a good thing.
Yeah, he's just a sweet guy. There was at one point at the beginning of this book where I thought Robbie killed her. Maybe I was just listening to it dumb, but it was like they were playing hide and seek, and she was taunting him. And then and then
picks her up.
He picks her up, and it's like his hands were around her. I'm like, oh man, he just strangled her. She did.
We're starting out dark, and it was like,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
this is kind of like a weird when Harry met Sally of robots.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, this is, but then it just turned out being a sweet thing. What's the lesson from this one? I guess is it just we need once we have technology, we can't do without it? Is that the lesson?
Well, it's also she bends the societal stuff, and the mom just doesn't like the robot because other people don't like the robot, and then the robot just gets taken away anyways after all this.
Yes, that's true, which is sad to think about. But I think the lesson is, how are kids who are raised in a world that actually has robots, which is like our generation, my kids, our kids are going to be raised in this world. It's like, how will they perceive them? And to them, to Gloria, there's no difference. Like, Robbie's there for her and takes care of her and plays with her. And so he's just a person, which I think I think that's the lesson there, is that we're going to be like, oh, robots are this other thing. But it's like kids, they're just like, a person.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I get to play. It's an intelligent being, not just some dumb dog.
Yeah, but the difference is right now, these robots, and this is where I'm optimistic about something like this not happening, is because, like I said, we're farther away from the actual physical robots. Like, we have them in our hand constantly, and that's enough. But like I said, the stuff they're doing at Boston Dynamics is cool, but for the most part, the robots are not that great right now. Like, they're pretty effing dumb. They're running into walls 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool. Say it's not a Westworld thing. Like, the problem is not the intelligence. The intelligence are already there. It's the physical bodies and stuff, which I thought is interesting. Because if I had to guess when I was a little boy which one would come first, I'd be like, oh, they'd be able to make a realistic robot-looking thing first, not the intelligence. The intelligence came way first. Way earlier. Wait, shut up.
It's the firstest.
It's the way the firstest.
It's way the first and then the first before.
So Gloria gets Robbie back, and everyone's happy, especially the dad, who's like, I spent so much money on this. We're not just going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Are you stupid? You're not just gonna like go take it out behind the shed and kill it like Christy. No. Boom. Shots fired. At the dog. She killed it.
Yeah,
That one was cute and it was interesting, and I was like, "Oh, this might be fun." And then the next like 2 stories, I was like, this is what I was expecting.
might be
We're
fun.
back on the
Here we go.
we're back on the runway here.
Yeah. So let's go to story number 2. The runaround. 2 engineers are stranded on Mercury with a robot that's lost its mind. They sent the robot to fetch selenium, a mineral they need to survive, but instead of coming back, he started running in circles around a pool of selenium, singing show tunes and acting drunk. The problem, 2 of his 3 laws are pulling him in opposite directions with equal force. The only way to snap him out of it is for a human to endanger themselves, which would trigger the first rule, causing the robot to like break out of the loop.
And that sucks for the human who has to do that.
Yeah. So the 2 laws are the selenium has like carbon monoxide coming off of it, which apparently damages the robot too. I don't understand that because you have to breathe. I don't know what's going on, but the carbon monoxide would damage the robot. And the order was given sort of like half-heartedly. It was like, hey, if you want to, go get that selenium, or like when you get a second, we need more selenium. And so he's like, it's not really a direct order, but I would have to endanger myself to get it. And so he's in this equilibrium where he's exactly as close to the pool as like those 2 things pulling. And then because he's in conflict, he's like acting all drunk and loopy and just running around in circles.
It's probably so funny to watch because when I watch videos of robots falling, I just can't help but laugh. And I love it. They are just so silly, and like they make them shorter because like it's like we can't have them too big. So it's just like it's just funny.
The book has a lot of these weird, like, okay, so they tried this, so that way maybe they can't hurt us. Like they make them big and slow. They ride these ones where they're like, they only work if you ride them, and they can't go more than 4 miles per hour. So that way they can't really hurt us. And it's like, okay. Like, but they can throw us. And then like they make Speedy small and really fast, but then it's just
so dumb. The
sci-fi
things
bullshit.
the thing where we're like, oh, this will save us from whatever if we make them just stupid, but now they can do flips, so that's cool.
There are home robots right now. They don't, so the agency's not there where they can make their own decisions. So they can do really simple chores like putting away, like loading a dishwasher, they can do with full AI in control. But this is the 1X robots, the Neo robots. I'm not sure if you've seen stuff for that. But
They just
how
look
they
stupid to
really
me.
work are they're teleoperated. So
Yeah.
you
Oh
have
my
a
gosh.
person with a VR headset just walking around your home, vacuuming and shit. That's how it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, there's a dude in the Philippines driving all the Waymo cars, and somebody was like,
Yeah,
they
in
don't
San
have
Francisco.
driver's licenses for America. So why would we have them doing that? That's
Yeah.
That's
like
so funny
illegal.
to me. See, and this is where you're right, Mac, where it's like, it's not as bad as we seem because we're stupid.
Yeah, it's silly, dumb
And it's
bullshit.
like
and
half of it's
treated
made up.
as such.
It's like, wow, these cars drive themselves. No, a guy in the Philippines drives the car.
And there's a small
I love
Filipino gentleman just driving you from the bar home.
Right now, you don't need to be worried about the happy-looking robot doing something wrong or lighting your house on fire. You got to be worried about the teleoperator controlling a robot in your home while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
that's
walking
so funny to
around,
me.
just doing whatever, and you can't
Yeah.
even stand your ground because if you shoot it, it probably still works.
Yeah.
And
you
guess
have to
what?
dismantle
Teleoperator
it.
guy feels
It's
no pain
fine.
at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the worst. This is a worse idea somehow than letting a robot in your home.
Yeah, just letting a guy in your house.
It's so funny.
What if I just gave a guy a body and let him be in my home? Just
An
some
invincible body that, he has no
Yeah.
stakes.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't
why
hurt
not?
him.
Guy. Oh, why
do
not?
whatever
Let's
I
just have a
want.
guy in here. But yeah, this one was boring and I didn't really care for it.
And
Okay.
it was pretty short, wasn't it? It's just like the guy jumps into like the solar rays, the robot figures it out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone's fine.
It was
He endangers
fun.
himself, and then he gives him a stronger order next time.
Yeah.
The
It's just
lesson being
the logic problem.
the
Yeah.
laws will conflict from time to time, and what do you do?
And also give it a good order. Don't be nonchalant about it. Tell it
Yeah,
to get the
be a
mercury
man.
or whatever. Be a
Be a
man.
man.
Be-
Say what you
give-
That's the second lesson. Be a man.
Be a man. Or,
Good
be a
e
person. We'll say person. Being manly is
Be
not
assertive. Yeah,
be
there you go.
assertive.
Use
Yeah,
masculine
Be
energy
bold.
regardless of what you got going on down there. Yep.
whatever your genitals say, don't worry about those. Just be assertive.
Just be assertive.
Be assertive.
But a good example of this is robots should obey you when you tell them to power down or when you push the power button. Are we agreed about this?
Sure. Yeah.
That should be a rule. Okay, what if we're down the line quite a while and we trust robots a lot and you put your kid in a robotic school bus to go to school and the kid sneaks up to the front and thinks it would be funny to turn it off while on the freeway? Should it turn off in that scenario?
No, don't give it the option.
But
If it's a
then what is it
school
gonna
bus, that's
do?
stupid. Have it
You-
remote driven by a guy in the Philippines. It's a lot safer. Because then if the kid presses the button, he'll be
You're
like,
dodging the
"No."
problem. You're
You know
you're
what we should
dodging
do
the
is
thought
we should pay
experiment.
these Filipino people more money so that way they treat us well because we've given them robot bodies. What if there's a robot uprising, but it's just a bunch of Filipino people that take over America using robots that we've given them access to? And we're
man.
like, we can't
Yeah,
go
dude.
over there and start a war with the Philippines because it's
We
just
don't
the
even know.
robots. But we
I'd
can't
love
kill
if the
the
Philippines
robots.
took over because then we just have Jollibee all the time, and that's
that
the
would be
best.
awesome.
That'd
That would
be
be-
so good.
If that happened, I'd actually be kind of happy. I'd be like, all right, guys,
Like the
fine.
Filipinos are taking over. Good.
Good,
I
take
want more
'em.
of that chicken joy. Sorry.
Uh,
I love Jollibee. I want one in
It's
Utah,
just-
and it's never gonna happen.
I think there's one near me. I need to go. Maybe I'll walk over there after this.
Go eat a
Incredible.
mango pie for me, pal.
I will, buddy.
I lived on that shit in the Philippines every morning.
Delicious. Shit is
good.
delicious.
Reason is the name of this one.
Yes.
Powell and Donovan, who are the same two guys, by the way, that got stuck on Mercury. Bad shit happens to Powell and Donovan.
Yeah, they
through the
come
whole
back,
book.
right?
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
always those two
Yeah.
that bad stuff is happening to. They build a robot so smart it immediately decides they assemble a robot. It's like the new model. And it wakes up and decides humans are way too pathetic to have created it and invents its own religion and belief system instead. So, robot's name's Cutie. That's fun.
and when it starts telling them, one of the guys is like more patient. I can't remember which
Yeah.
one.
Powell.
I
but
think it's
Powell's
Powell.
more patient, but the other one, when the robot's like, "I have a religion. You could not do this." He's like, "What do you mean? I'm gonna knock your block off!" Like this real '50s tough guy
Yeah.
mad at the robot. It's funny.
Yes. He declares Cutie declares that the space station's energy converter is God, appoints himself prophet, and locks the humans out of the control room. This is a problem because this particular satellite is pointing a beam of energy. It's harvesting energy from a star and then shooting it at Earth with this beam. If the beam gets out of focus, it can like annihilate a large swath of Earth. And so they're there to keep it focused. And the robot's supposed to take over that job because they're, automating it. And then it locks them out and they're like, oh, we're screwed. It doesn't even believe in Earth. They're trying to convince it. He's like, that's preposterous. Why would people live on little dots that circle all these other little dots? Like, what
He's
are you
like,
talking about?
Obviously, you guys just need this so that you can
Yeah.
have some sort of purpose. But clearly, God is the energy converter. And they're like,
Yeah.
what?
And one of them's he's like, "No, it's look outside of the telescope." He's like, "That doesn't tell me anything."
Yeah,
And
I don't
he gets
know
so
that that's
mad.
real. That could be fake. I
Yeah.
don't see any people. What are you talking
Yes. So the problem though is there's solar storms that come and disrupt the beam and they have to keep it like locked on. And so there's a solar storm hitting and they're like, okay, I mean, dang it, we tried. The Earth's going to get destroyed now. And they watch as the beam stays in perfect equilibrium. The storm passes and they're like, Cutie, what happened? And he says, like, oh, I just kept all the dials at equilibrium as the god requires, like as the master necessitates. And they're like, wait, like, it's like not to save a planet or not to like, and he's like, no, that's what the energy converter wants me to do. The lesson here being, it doesn't really matter what the robot believes. Like, what matters is the outcomes and what happens. It's the same with people. It's like,
about?
okay,
as
but
long
is
as
your
it's like
god?
a good thing.
Yeah. So
I think there's a
wild.
Patton Oswalt joke where he's like, if you walk around and you think that there is a piece of poop that lives in the sky and he will poop on your head if you do any bad things, I'm not going to call you crazy. That's a good guy. Just let him believe in it.
Yeah.
So this bothers me though.
Tell
Why?
us why.
I'm like, I think you should try and figure out what's really true. I don't know, it's like the useful lie thing, like porcupines
Yeah.
shoot their quills. Not true. Useful to believe though, because then you won't try and touch it. Or even better, like every gun is loaded. Not literally true, but if you treat every gun like it's loaded, you're going to get good outcomes. And
I like the porcupine one more.
yeah,
Thing.
You like animals.
It's just
more.
not true. Porcupines can't shoot their quills.
We don't know
for
that.
like
What if
20
eventually they
years.
could? What if eventually they could? Or
Don't-
how like
don't
you
keep
think
them down.
quicksand's
As of right now,
everywhere?
they cannot.
When I was a kid, I thought quicksand was all over the place, and now guess what? I've never had a problem with quicksand. So
It's true.
it's a useful
But-
lie. Cartoons.
But to you, Evan, it's a lie. But to someone else, it's truth.
It's
It's
true.
objective truth. So Cutie thinks they're telling him a lie, and they're thinking he's telling a lie, but they both believe it.
Everybody's cool with you having your truth while it's producing good outcomes for them. But what happens when your truth produces suffering and bad outcomes? You have a problem now
That's
because
true.
you can't
That's a
convince them
crisis.
differently because the postulates, like the things that they're assuming as like base reality, like are incorrect, you know? But they have to go deeper and question the postulate. And you can pull that thread forever. You can go all the way back and be like, okay, well, what happened before the Big Bang? And it's like, who knows? After that, it's just like dealer's choice. And your choice can be really catastrophic, and I can't really convince you. You know what I mean? This is why this like
Yeah.
makes me mad.
But it's also like, you know what? Fuck it.
I feel like I keep crossing this threshold where McKylan's like, actually, this is a little like,
Well, I'm just like, oh, that's a great point. I don't want to engage with how freaked out that could make me.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
no.
Mac, this is
No.
why I need you, dude. This is
I'm
why
like,
like we
Evan's
need each
right.
other.
And this is that's a very thoughtful and good point. Nah. I don't like it. That's why we need each other. When we spin out, you'll
Yeah,
be like,
we're
hey,
good
maybe
for
you're
each other.
drinking too much. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool.
Cool, 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 cool.
Thanks for the
And
heads
you're
up.
like, what if AI is gonna kill us all? And I'm like, but no.
Go touch some grass.
And then Kyle's like, guys, it could be worse. And we're like, fair enough.
You
Like,
just
shut
can.
Shut your whore mouth.
You guys could have way worse anxiety. And we're like, yeah, you're right.
True,
Stop
true,
being
true, true, true.
bitches. Stop being bitches.
Or you could get shot by a porcupine, not with his quills, but with a gun.
with a gun that he thought
With a
was
loaded gun. Yeah,
And then you fall into quicksand so nobody can find your
And
body.
you fall-
Perfect murder.
the perfect.
Everybody's confused. They're like, this flies in the face of, and a bear was right there, and he could have stopped it, but he was hibernating.
He was hibernating. He was literally
and then a tree
hibernating.
fell, but nobody knows if it made a sound.
Yep.
Here, I got one for you. If a tree falls in the woods and it hits a mime, does anyone care?
No,
That was
the
funny.
world's a little bit better.
No, because it's a mime. What's a mime doing in the woods? Full miming.
It's practicing. It's like I bet there's just like a mime that's going full Jean-Claude Van Damme out in the woods, just being like, "I'm gonna be the best mime in the world."
Yeah,
And
he's
the tree
going
just-
real hard. That's so funny. Oh,
But it
man.
doesn't make a sound because he's a mime.
Yep. He doesn't scream either. He's just, yeah, you can't see it
Puts
if
up
you're
an
listening, but
invisible
he's
wall and just doesn't do shit because
Comes right through the wall.
all right. Number 4.
Boy, oh boy. Number 4, catch that rabbit. Dave is a boss robot who controls 6 smaller robots like a hand controls fingers, and he works perfectly when nobody's watching. The moment he's left alone, though, his team stops mining and starts marching through the tunnels in a bizarre military formation. When Powell and Donovan stage an emergency to catch the glitch in action,
because it's Powell and Donovan again.
because it's
Sorry.
Powell and Donovan getting up to shenanigans. They accidentally trap themselves in a cave-in with 6 hours of oxygen, and the robots just march right past them. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
That's not good.
What was the point of this one? This one was I was having a tough time.
I didn't follow this one as
I didn't either.
well. But they finally like shoot one of the robots
Yeah.
and take it offline because it's like he only had enough bandwidth to control 5 of them. But I'm like, that seems like that robot problem. I don't feel like this is a general robotics issue. I don't know.
I guess it was probably
It's a
probably
defective
just
robot.
like the hubris of man. Like you try, like you'll design all these different robots, but they will break. Like it's not just like equal opportunity.
Yeah.
You'll have the hubris to control 6 robots instead of 5.
Yeah, you just keep doing designs, and you're just like, oh, what if one robot could control 6 robots? And it's like, well, now it can't control itself. So shit. All right, we killed 2 guys.
This one you kind of have to go along with it.
It's one of the weaker ones, and it was.
Yeah. Let's move on to number 5. Let's just get right into it.
Dog shit. Don't read that one. Skip it.
This one's my favorite. It's called Liar. A manufacturing accident produces the only mind-reading robot ever built, and he uses that power to tell everybody exactly what they want to hear. He tells Susan Calvin that the man she loves secretly loves her back. He tells an ambitious executive that he's about to get promoted. None of that's true, but Herbie can't help himself. The first law, which is not to harm a human or by inaction allow any human to come to harm, won't let him hurt people's feelings. When the truth comes out and Calvin's heart is just broken by the fact that the man she loves doesn't love her secretly, she traps Herbie, the robot, in an impossible logic loop and watches him just scream himself into insanity and shut down. She's real mad about that.
She's I mean, because she's fully convinced that this guy she's been in love with for a long time loves her back because the robot, which can read minds, tells her that. And then once she finds out it's bullshit, she's like, I'm going to kill you, you stupid idiot. That's not cool. You hurt my feelings is an interesting one.
This one felt the most like ChatGPT to me. That's interesting that he predicted that, essentially.
Yeah, we're seeing this happen right now.
Yeah, because it's just a feedback loop.
It is. It's exactly a feedback loop. But what's interesting is like how the definition, this one is fascinating because it shows how the definition of harm to a robot does depend on that robot's inputs. Like what can it see?
Yeah.
Because if the robots can't read minds, harm is defined by like sort of just global, like they probably feel pain, so don't hurt them, you know? But if it's like, I can see into your mind and I know what hurts you, suddenly it's like impossible not to harm you. It's like everything you do could like cause insecurity, or he won't even tell them how he can read minds because he's worried about bruising their egos because they want to figure it out. And so he's like, I can't tell you that, it'll hurt you. And that's why he gets in that loop and just freaking spirals, which is the same thing that will happen to you if you are trying to think of what's in other people's heads and like predict that and manage for it. You freak the fuck out. Yeah.
Just don't try to, if you ever, that's why I don't smoke weed. It's because I start doing that. Because I'm like, I think that they think that I'm stupid. And then
you just, it's downhill.
I need to just like lay with a pillow and watch Army of Darkness or something.
That sounds like a pretty good night, honestly.
Honestly, anytime you're a little stony baloney, just put on some early Sam Raimi. Oh, it's so good. You're like, oh, it's like why are there these robots? It's okay. It's great. Just do it.
Oh, harm. What a crazy concept.
That idea though isn't like, I guess that's the same. We were talking about that a bunch last week with like, don't hurt people. And like how easy it is to hurt people. And it's kind of like, I was thinking back and I was like, it was kind of pedantic, but like it is true. But it's like, it's very hard to know what will hurt people and how to not hurt. Like it's already just an impossible thing for humans to do. So how could we ever teach a robot to do anything ever? Because we don't know how to do shit.
It's hard problems to solve. Has been true since 1950. I don't feel like there's a good answer to this, and it's been 75 years. So
yeah, I think my answer to this is I don't know. Like that's just how I feel about this whole episode. This whole thing is like I don't know how it's gonna go down. I don't know anything. So I guess we'll just kind of sit back and watch and try to make it better. But I don't know. I don't know anything.
I don't know.
That's probably the healthier way to do it. But see,
good.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a bunch and talk in a circle. And then work myself up and get mad and then say I don't know at the end. It just feels
to each
right.
their own, my friend.
Yeah,
but it's the friends you made along the way. You know,
exactly.
It's fun.
That's who
fun
you really
exercise.
Don't know is the friends you made along the way.
Quick PSA for anybody still tracking. ChatGPT, go turn off the toggle that says make this the model better for everyone. If you don't do that, it will keep everything that you say, and they're going to train their models on the things that you've told it. Yes. Okay, so we are going to skip ahead because we are real people, not robots, with actual lives and relationships, and time's running thin. So we're going to skip ahead. Do read. There's I think 3 that we're skipping, and these are fast. You can knock these out pretty quick, and they raise some interesting questions, including, I guess, just in a speed round, there's the story of a robot who has his first law muted, so he's not allowed to harm a human, but he can, by inaction, allow a human to be harmed, and then all the problems that causes. Um, there's another one where a supercomputer creates a ship that's capable of faster than light travel and has to harm human beings to do that, and finds a way to cope with that by using humor, which is something the three of us know nothing about.
Totally unrealistic.
Yeah, like coping with problems with humor, just not something we understand. There's another one where somebody's running for mayor and he's accused of being a robot because nobody's ever seen him eat or drink. And the process of deciding whether or not, or figuring out if he's a robot or not, is like really hard. If you want to know more about that, just watch Ex Machina. I think that wraps it up pretty well.
Isn't it simple? Just watch him poo?
But he refuses.
Well, but
the
he
test.
refuses on
Yeah.
principle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, just catch him in the act. He's got to
Just
poop
bust in
sometime.
there.
I love that he just knocks the fuck out of some guy, and they're like, "All right, he's cool."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Well, okay. Oh, well, yeah. Read that one. It's good. Finally, we have that same mayor goes on to become the ruler of the world. So that's cool.
And
It's
his
20.
name is Mamdani.
His
No,
name
just
is
kidding.
Zoran Mamdani.
You don't mess with a Zoran. That's a very different thing.
I've never made that connection though, but now I'm going to think about it every time.
It's a stupid connection. Anyway.
Well, finally, the last story, and this is where I say, Mac, this is where it gets, I think this is Asimov writing a story for himself to be optimistic and kind of taking a side here. It's called The Evitable Conflict, which I didn't realize you could take the in off of inevitable, and it's still a word. That's the thing I
I
learned.
never thought about that, but that does make total sense. We learned Latin. We should know this.
I didn't.
I mean,
I was there.
Either.
I passed Latin. I don't know if I learned anything.
That's fair. I had a teacher sit me down and be like, "This is how you pass the test."
I mean, that wasn't that easy for me, but we weren't geniuses. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, still aren't.
Still,
It turns out, no matter what ChatGPT says, not geniuses.
you are the greatest thing that's ever happened. Go jump off a building.
You're a
Okay,
god.
fly if you really believed hard enough.
Well, it's 2052, and a giant supercomputer, or giant supercomputers called the machines, are running the entire global economy. There's no war, no famine, no unemployment, but tiny, inexplicable errors keep popping up. And the world coordinator, Stephen Byerly, is the mayor from earlier.
Boring
Wants
name.
to know, yeah, so boring.
Sorry.
Byerly, come on.
Byerly.
Wants to know why. Suspects a group of powerful humans is sabotaging the machines. Calvin's answer is far more unsettling. The machines can't be sabotaged because they've already accounted for human disobedience. The errors aren't mistakes, they're the machines quietly removing their enemies from power. Humanity didn't lose control, it never really had control to begin with, and now there's really no stopping the machines. They're going to drive everything the way that they are going to drive it, and there's really nothing humans can do anymore.
All right, yeah.
Optimistic. I don't know how that was optimistic.
Help
Well,
us feel better, Evan, please.
Yeah, sorry, I really left that.
Yeah, you kept saying that the last one's optimistic, and I was like, is it? Okay, I guess.
It is, because, so the fascinating part is like, Stephen Byerly is like, what? We've lost control? That's horrible. And Calvin, who this whole story has been from her perspective, she says, is it horrible? Because so far the humans, or the machines, have acted in human best interests. So they're at the wheel. We're not at the wheel, and that's unsettling to us. But it's like they have the three laws, and they're going to continue to just maximize human well-being from now till forever. And we don't know where they're going. We don't know if it's like a philosophy or system of government that we would recognize, or if it's something totally new entirely. But it's like humans will thrive forever because the machines are in charge. And the quote here is, "For all time, conflicts are finally evitable. Only the machines from now on are inevitable." So the optimistic future is that superintelligence comes about, decides humans are cool, and decides to just like maximize human well-being, and then who knows, you know?
I guess that's
And we write it out.
positive.
And that's also a possibility that could happen.
That could be cool.
And that's pretty cool. I like that. That's neat.
Yeah, why not? Sure. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Sure. Yeah. They're just driving the whole thing. And it's like human
Maybe they
beings.
already are.
Yeah, we already are. Human beings can
Always
be
were.
pretty uncompassionate, is what we've learned through human history. So it's like, what makes us think robots are going to be so much worse? Because human beings are capable of horrors beyond my comprehension. Let's give it to the robots for a bit. I, for one, welcome our alien overlords type thing.
Yeah, there
See
you
what
go.
happens.
Yeah, you know
It's
what?
so unsettling, though. It doesn't feel
It is
satisfying.
unsettling because
Well,
it's
it feels
like
bad, but it's like, I guess
it's like I want
it's
to be
not.
driving, but I'm a bad driver.
Also, we haven't been driving. We haven't driven for ever in our lives. So maybe it's like, okay, fine.
Who's
That's what
driving?
Susan Calvin says. She's like, you feel bad because humans aren't in charge, but they never really were. There was like climate and economies and cultures and
Dinosaurs.
worldviews, and like
Yeah.
no one was ever steering really. What's the difference if the machines are steering versus humans? And this is where you get into weird transhumanism shit with like Peter Thiel. They
Oh,
asked him like the direct question, like, do you
Ugh.
think robots will just succeed humans? Do you think the humans survive this like step of evolution? And he took like 10 seconds to answer. And he was like,
oh yeah,
And he's like, yeah.
maybe, yeah.
maybe. It's like,
I don't know.
Peter Thiel, I want to punch you in the head.
It's a weird head. I
I
feel like
just-
it.
yeah.
I feel like it would feel like punching a Jello with pineapple chunks in it.
It'd just be
Just
uncomfortable.
You'd be like, ah, what the?
It wouldn't hurt. It would just be like, I don't like that. That was supposed to hurt you, but it hurt me in a weird, deep way.
Did I just get zapped? What the hell, dude?
What's wrong with you? Are you a robot? He's like, he waits 10 seconds to answer. Maybe.
Maybe.
Not sure.
Well, what do we think of it? How are we feeling right now? The temperature in the virtual room feels muted.
Yeah, I think we pumped and we dumped.
Yeah, it was a pump and dump. I'm ready to go be with my family. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, that's fuck AI. I don't fucking know. Run everything. I have a bad habit of just becoming despondent.
I would love. You should teach me how. I would like to stop spiraling and researching. I would love
It's
that.
called drugs.
Ah. Well, Caitlin, you heard it here first.
You heard it.
Everything that
I'm not
happens next
advocating
is
for it.
Kyle's fault.
No, I
Yep.
don't do drugs. I'm what do they call it? Straight edge, teetotaler. I'm boring as
You're a
shit.
teetotaler?
Yeah, that's what they call it, isn't it? Or it's
Is
like you
it?
don't do
I
anything.
thought that was like a religious party, or not religious, a political party.
I
The
don't know.
Tea
I thought-
Party? I don't think that's the same.
No, teetotalers. Yeah, I thought that was a different thing. I don't
Ask
know.
AI.
ChatGPT will
man.
know. Hey.
I know. I'm like, oh man, I hate AI, but like in 10 minutes, I'm gonna feel something I feel shouldn't be happening in my body and be like, am I okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
be
it'll
like,
be like-
what's a good idea for a birthday gift for this party I'm going to tonight?
Yeah. It's like, what should I eat for dinner? I don't know. Make up your own damn mind.
Who am I?
What am I? Why is my penis so small?
Thank you, Isaac Asimov, for science fiction, and particularly this anthology. How many thumbs, gentlemen?
I gave it a thumb.
I give it one thumb.
Give it two
That seems
thumbs.
unfair though, because I gave Boys of Winter one thumb, and I like this a lot more.
Would you like to change your Boys of Winter score?
To
You
zero
can.
thumbs, join me.
But I respect Wayne Coffey, and so I want to give him his flowers.
Well,
I
zero
give him
thumbs is middle of the road.
Oh yeah, because no, 0 thumbs, absolutely.
Yeah, you don't have to give it a thumbs down.
Yeah, we'll have to go back on that. If you listen to last week's
Actually-
episode, retroactively go back and listen to that, and at the end, know that Kyle changed.
Because my dumbass didn't understand the rating system because it's not based on anything. No, it actually makes sense
It's
to me
based
now.
on thumbs. Yeah.
It's based on thumbs, which I can see and feel. I'll give this one 0 thumbs.
Okay.
Oh, this one gets 0 thumbs. Okay.
It's just like they both get 0 thumbs. It didn't
two
grab me
0
like I
thumbs.
thought it would.
Yeah, it was kind of a bland week this week of just like. ugh.
Yeah. I'm
This
like,
is one
are
of the few
books
times it
boring?
felt like it felt like homework. This is the first week
Totally,
it felt like homework.
totally.
Mm.
And I
I'm
was-
glad you felt that way too, Matt, because I
Yeah.
was beating myself up about it, but I'm like, I didn't really enjoy this.
Which
I
is,
mean,
I've
yeah.
enjoyed the conversations.
Me too.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. Thank you for the
yeah.
reassurance about that. So don't worry that I was thinking maybe you weren't having a good time, because I wouldn't do that.
He's like,
No.
Evan's like, was that good for you? Because it was good for me.
It was really good for me.
It
Two
was
thumbs
really good
up.
for me.
2 thumbs way up. But
Well,
that's
Evan
just
will wait
'cause
till you say if it was
know.
good for you, and they'd be like, "So he didn't like it."
Damn it.
He hated
I don't
it.
think he was telling the truth about that.
I think
Follow
he
us on
liked it, man.
Spotify, Apple, Audible. Email us, bibliofools@gmail.com. We'll take requests.
Seriously,
We'll
do
consider requests.
it. We'll consider
And
'em.
parting advice from McKylan, technically, your pick.
Yeah.
You've done this
Um,
yourself, Anakin.
You've
done
done
it
that
yourself.
yourself. I would say, hey, if everything feels bad, maybe you just need to like go for a walk, have a drink, hang out with some friends. You just put your phone down and just go have fun. Whatever
weird how
fun
that
is.
works.
Yeah.
really
And
good
immediately, all your problems will disappear if you run fast enough. So just every now and again, run away from your problems.
All right.
If you go fast enough, the bad thoughts can't catch you.
They
That's
can't
can't
catch
get
up. They're slow. Well, gotta run. We love you.
Yeah.
Love you.
We love you. Stay black.